Biden doesn't know where he is, but you think that someone there would be like, hey, Trump is one-upping us. But here's the problem, is that these people with Trump derangement syndrome hate him so much. This guy could literally cure cancer. He could literally do everything right, which he's doing, and they will still say he's more evil than Biden, who is out there partying with whatever Lizzo is. I believe she's classified as a blimp, and he's out there partying with her instead of honoring this fallen soldier, I'd like to say.
I think one of the biggest and most unfortunate things about the recent crimes that we've seen in New York City between this cop getting shot and the person getting shoved onto the subway and killed is that the people who are committing these crimes are repeat offenders. I'm reading from the story here that there were two people in the car. One of the people who shot back at this officer, both have dozens of prior arrests. The person who shoved the lady onto the subway also had many prior arrests. I'm also willing to bet the person going around punching women in the face near Washington
It's not
Square
one
Park,
guy.
I bet it's a handful of people who are repeat offenders. There's a serious 1%er issue with committing crimes in the city, and the city needs to be willing to involuntarily institutionalize a lot of these people, but there just doesn't seem to be the political will to do that.
I can shorten that for you and just say arrest.
Yeah, I mean, but also like there's some people who it needs to go beyond arrest. The people who can't take care of themselves, who are a threat to themselves and others. There are a ton of these people running around the area where we're seeing women get decked around. And again, it's just really unfortunate because these are self-inflicted wounds. These aren't things that are beyond, the government's capability to help prevent. So,
yeah.
Well, it says here the guy was arrested 21 times.
So here's the thing. Now, we need to be critical of police officers, right? We need to be critical of everybody in a society. Imagine if you're an NYPD officer, and I'm friends with a lot of NYPD officers. Imagine if you're arresting these guys just to have these Soros-funded DAs send them on the streets. You go to work every day, and keep in mind, these guys, I know this is not the argument you guys want to hear, especially Tim, but they have families, they have mortgages, they have pensions they've already put 20 years in, they have another 10 to hit their 30. So they're arresting them. They're letting them back out. Imagine how demoralizing it is as a police officer. Because a lot of these guys, they want to arrest criminals. A lot of cops get into policing to do the right thing.
I'm very sympathetic.
It's a negative pressure system, and I don't accept it.
I don't either.
What is happening now, and my criticism for the system of policing, primarily in, say, New York or Chicago or LA, is that we'll target New York specifically. They arrest a guy who's threatening to kill people, and he gets released right away.
Yes.
They know if I try and stop this guy, nothing will happen. You also have stories where, for instance, Luke Rudkowski, there was a guy on the train, someone started stabbing people, and the cops said, we're not getting involved because we have no legal obligation. The courts ruled the cops don't have an obligation to actually intervene. So what ends up happening is this. You have a scenario where cops either say, I can't stop the guy, because maybe there's someone on a murderous rampage and they're ill-equipped. They say, even if I try to stop the guy, he'll get released. Mm-hmm. And then you have a system where Daniel Penny cooperates and they say, now there's a guy I can arrest because he won't fight back. This negative pressure system means innocent people are more likely to be imprisoned, honest people are more likely to be imprisoned, and criminals are more likely to get away. This is what we're seeing in New York. Not a single NYPD officer should be accepting anything to do with transporting, detaining, or guarding Penny. Daniel Penny, the moment that whole thing happened with Jordan Neely in the train threatening to kill people, the cops should have been like, I'm not touching that man. When the supervisor says, arrest him, he's being charged, I ain't touching him. But what do you get? You get cops with a smile on their faces be like, this one's easy. So it's not about the individual cop. It's about the fact that if Daniel Penny wasn't arrested and every single officer said no, and the police union issued a statement saying, we will not be involved, you're going to have to call state police to deal with this because we will not. And state police did the same thing. Penny would say, what are you going to do? And then maybe the criminals might be like, we better stop trying to kill people instead. I watched a video of a guy in New York stabbing someone, I believe. It's crazy because there's too many of these videos. They're just all over the place. Yeah. And you got people hiding and trying to run from the trains. And I'm like, man, this is nuts. And what happens? These people don't get caught or arrested. The cops say, well, even if we arrest them, they're going to be let go. Then why did you arrest Penny?